Hey YouTube, Savandras here with some very good news today. Toonsquid 2.0 is finally out. I'm totally caught off guard because I just dropped a video for lip syncing in Toonsquid and I went on YouTube and Toonsquid 2.0 was already out. So as some of you may know, I've been beta testing this for a while, but I had to keep my mouth shut. So I'm glad to finally be able to speak about this because all I can say is this app has a whole lot of interesting things in store. So this won't be a tutorial video. I'm going to make something like that later in the week, but I'm going to be showing you a bunch of the new features that we're receiving. And just so you know, this is not a paid update. If you were interested in Procreate Dreams when it was first announced, this app actually has a lot of the things that Procreate Dreams promised, functioning a little bit better. It's definitely missing some things as well, but overall, it's really great, and I'm happy to see it here. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it because we have a lot to cover. If you've already paid for Toonsquid in the past, you can just go straight to the App Store and hit update, and you have Toonsquid 2. So the biggest focus of Toonsquid 2 was definitely the effects. So essentially, we're getting some of the features that we could see in applications like After Effects or Procreate Dreams to edit our drawings to make them look better. So we have things like blur. We can edit the color of our drawings. We can add bones now, which is a big thing. And what makes this update such a big deal is that all these effects are non-destructive. Like we just put them on our drawings and we still maintain our original drawing. Even though we have our effects on, we can just toggle it off. And we can also animate almost all of these effects. So yes, we can animate things like warp. We can animate things like color, all types of things. Gauge blur, it's so cool. We also have some quality of life improvements for the user interface, like we can flip horizontally without having to go into our settings, and we have a full screen mode so we can focus on our drawing now. Additionally, we have changes to onion skinning, like we can loop our onion skin so we can show our first frame or our last frame when we're far away from them. We could be at the beginning of the timeline and see our last frame so we can animate looping animations, and vice versa with the last frame showing the first frame. We can also just straight up loop our animations easier now by selecting all of our frames and hitting the loop function. So I'm going to hop into some sample files that the developer made and just show you guys some of the new features that are going on. And you can actually download these sample files on the Toonsquid website. I'll leave the link in the description. One really cool effect is the new parallax effect, which basically you don't need to animate your parallax. You just put the effect on a single layer and it will determine how far, like kind of in a 3D way, how far your layer is from the camera. And then when you animate your camera movement, all the other, like your foreground and your background, can track to your character and they'll move differently. I can't fully explain it right now because I'm still learning how it works, but I'm going to make a follow-up video where I can display it to all of you. Additionally, we have a new spinning effect where we can just control the rotation of an object very easily without having to manually change it and keyframe it, and we can also reverse the direction. We can also now use a cutter tool on vector strokes, and there's actually a difference in this new version of Toonsquid. We have vector shapes and vector strokes. Vector shapes will basically be your textured brushes that are also working as vectors, but they're kind of working more like fills. They're not working like strokes. Vector strokes will basically just be pressureless lines. And if you use an erase brush that's set to the vector stroke mode, it will basically be used as a cutter tool rather than a regular eraser. Finally, with vector tools, we can also now just directly grab the paths rather than having to edit them like they're raster shapes where we're just distorting them. So here in this demo file, you can also just see me messing around with a bunch of different effects like Gaussian blur, color, saturation, just to see how different you can make your picture look essentially. And I'm very impressed. I'm very happy with the app, and I think I'm actually going to wrap it up here because I just want to use this app and come back to you guys with more information. So I'll drop a tutorial later on this week, so stay tuned.